I've been hearing the same thing from buyers over the past year now. We're waiting to see the bottom of the market. But over the past few weeks, something interesting is happening and you need to pay attention. The Bank of Canada held its interest rate steady again. Ontario continues to be the only province that is expected to see further price softening this year. Housing affordability across Canada is now at the best level that it has been in 4 years. And locally, despite higher inventory levels, buyers are still purchasing homes across Fort Erie and Niagara. So the question isn't whether a better buying opportunity is still coming. The question might just be, are we already in that opportunity? Today, let's take a look at what's happening in our local market over the past month and what this means, whether you are buying, selling, or simply just keeping an eye on the market. Hi everyone, I'm Barbara Scarlett with the Scarlett Real Estate Group. Every week I break down what's happening in Fort Erie and the Niagara real estate market so that you can make informed decisions based on local activity rather than those national headlines. The past month has been busy, and actually I wasn't even able to record a market update. So I thought today, let's take a step back and take a look at the trends that developed throughout June. Before I get into the local numbers, let's take a look at what is actually happening at the national level. Earlier this month, the Bank of Canada held the overnight lending rate at 2.25% for the 5th consecutive meeting. For buyers, the big takeaway there is stability. Mortgage rates haven't changed dramatically over the past several months, giving buyers much more certainty than they've experienced over the past few years. We also received 2 housing reports that supported what we're seeing locally here in Fort Erie and across Niagara. And that first report came from CMHC. Their latest housing market outlook projected Ontario to be the only province that is expected to experience further price softening this year, largely because of the inventory outpacing the demand. The second came from RBC, and their latest housing affordability report found that the housing affordability across Canada has improved to its best level in 4 years. Much of that improvement has come from the price correction rather than the lowering of interest rates. And the RBC believes affordability gains may begin to level off if prices stabilize and interest rates remain relatively unchanged. When I read these reports, I cannot help but think they happen to parallel what we're seeing in Niagara, because that's exactly what's happening with our numbers. Let's start with Fort Erie. Through the month of June, activity in inventory remained remarkably consistent, fluctuating between 487 listings and 499 active listings. For our market, that's a significant amount of available inventory, and it continues to provide buyers with plenty of choices, as well as downward pressure on pricing. What's encouraging, however, is that sales are still happening. At the end of May, Fort Erie recorded 54 sales, and at the end of June, we recorded 71 sales. That's an increase of more than 30% over a 1-month period. While weekly sales naturally fluctuate, the overall trend seems to tell us that buyers are still moving forward. They're simply approaching the market differently. Today's buyer, they're taking more time, they're comparing properties, they're negotiating hard, and they're including finance conditions, home inspection conditions. They're making thoughtful decisions instead of rush decisions. We're also seeing a clear separation between homes that are priced appropriately and those that are not. Well-priced homes continue to generate interest and they sell. Properties that enter the market above the market value are often sitting longer. They're requiring price adjustments before attracting buyers. To me, that's the definition of a healthy buyer's market. Now let's zoom out and look at the Niagara region. At the end of May, the Niagara region recorded 2,922 active listings, and today we've just crossed that 3,000 mark with approximately 3,048 homes for sale. Normally, when inventory increases this much, people expect sales to start to drop, but that's not what we're seeing. Monthly sales increased from 520 homes sold to 575 homes selling over the 1-month period in the Niagara region. Now that tells me that buyers are not disappearing, they're still purchasing homes. They're simply taking advantage of having more options, more negotiating power. This continues to be a buyer's market, but it's certainly not a stagnant market. Homes are selling every single week across Niagara. Before we continue, I want to hear from you. Are you currently looking to buy? Are you thinking about selling? Where exactly are you in this current real estate cycle? Are you waiting to see what happens in the marketplace in Niagara? Well, leave me a comment below. I really do want to hear where you're at in this real estate cycle. Now, one of the biggest misconceptions that I'm hearing right now is that buyers should continue waiting for those prices to fall. Maybe, but it's important to remember that buying a home isn't just about price. It's also about the overall affordability. And right now, buyers have something that they haven't enjoyed for several years in real estate. They have choice, they have negotiating power, time to complete inspections, time to secure financing, time to compare multiple homes before they make their final decision. These opportunities simply didn't exist in the past few years. And if you've been waiting for less competition, more flexibility, today's market might already be providing exactly that for you as a buyer. For sellers, the strategy has changed. In today's market, it's rewarding preparation, it's rewarding pricing that home correctly from day one. Professional marketing is important, high quality photography, strong presentation. The realistic pricing is critical. You may think that you have the right price and then the market shifts, so you have to adjust quickly if you are going to generate showings on your property. Because buyers have options and they're looking at your house with others and yours needs to stand out. When I look back over the past month, I don't see the market declining at all. I also don't see that the market is accelerating. What I see is it's beginning to balance off. Interest rates, of course, have stabilized. Inventory, it remains elevated. Affordability has improved for buyers in the marketplace. Buyers are negotiating with power, and transactions continue to happen every week throughout Fort Erie and Niagara. In fact, they're spiking. If you've been waiting for a perfect time to buy, it may be worth asking whether the opportunity that we've been waiting for is actually already here. If you're wondering what these market conditions mean for your specific situation, whether you're buying or selling, investing, or simply planning your next move, I'd be happy to have a conversation with you. If you found this update helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and share it with somebody who you think might be moving to Fort Erie or anywhere in Niagara. Thanks so much for watching. I'm Barbara Scarlett, and I'll see you in the next video.